Yo, what is up, YouTube? We are back with another banger, and I'm here with my guys. Yo, is my shit frozen or nah, bro? There you are. Cool. All right, so we're back with another banger, man. I got the MMA ticket on the line, and I got Jersey's finest. We got Adrian in the building. We got Dwayne from the MMA ticket in the building. Say what's up to the people, yo.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing today?
There you go. There you go. All right, cool. So really quickly, man, and I want to start off with Adrian first. Yo, what is up with Derek Lewis in Houston, man? He said that there was too much pressure on him. There was too much pressure on him when he fought in Houston, and if the fight wasn't in Houston, it would have been a different thing. What do you think about that, man?
I think everything that comes out of Derek Lewis's mouth is a lie. He's MMA's like one of MMA's like best trolls. Everything he says is capped because he just signed his next fight is in Houston. It doesn't make any sense. But you know what? I was actually thinking about this. As I was thinking, I was like, why did he? He said he wanted Stipe. And then he picked the tie. I guess he signed the tie fight. I think he knows that a win over tie will solidify a title shot for him. Okay. Whereas waiting for Stipe, it doesn't make sense because like the UFC doesn't usually congratulate guys that sit and wait. Okay. So,
gotcha. Hey, so Dwayne. Same question to you. What the hell do you think this guy's issue is with Houston?
Listen, I think honestly it didn't have anything to do with Houston or he said it was like, title implications and all that. Listen, I think Cyril Gane is legit. I don't see how really many heavyweights, even Tai Tuivasa, even though this is going to be a banger in the future, I just don't see how any of these guys are going to have like just their own show how they do. Cyril Gane's really good. He's very well rounded for a heavyweight. You know what I mean? And I honestly I really want to see Jones and Gane, but that's for the future, I guess. We'll see what's in store.
So do you guys think he's making excuses?
I don't really think so. As I said, he kind of making the excuses with the whole Houston thing, I think. But at the same time, I mean, you've performed, I've performed, sometimes when you just get to the venue itself, that strikes fear in you. Yeah. And, I've come out on the losing streak a few times, because I thought bigger of myself. I thought, I was supposed to do this. I trained too hard to, I remember my first time walking into just a Naga tournament, and I was like, man, I'm going to come back with the belt no matter what. It's just a grappling tournament. And then choked out in the first round, 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, bro. I remember that.
And it's like, I knew what to do. I knew how to escape the triangle and all that. But it's like my body froze. So I just coming from that perspective. Yeah. And then now looking at it from the outside.
Yeah. I think it was a pressure thing for him. But first and foremost, Cyril Gane's a way better fighter in every which way. Every way except for maybe knockout power. I just think the only thing true that Lewis said during that MMA hour interview with Ariel was he said something about his family hating on him. So when you're at home, you kind of want to prove them wrong. I felt like he tried too hard, and it just didn't work out well for him. So he was gonna lose that fight anyway. It doesn't matter. Cyril Gane beats him 9 out of 10 times anyway. He's just a way better fighter, technical wise, way better.
All right. So do you guys think he's fighting again in Houston? Do you guys think if he loses again, do you think he's got that shit already in his bag, ready to go? Oh, it was in Houston. There was too much pressure.
I'll go real quick. I think that this is a fight he knows he could win. And he's facing an opponent, as I mentioned before in the last video. Derek Lewis is a lot faster. He has a speed advantage in this fight. So you're definitely going to see a different Derek Lewis. I think he's going to be very patient. And when he sees an opening, it's good night. I guarantee you, if he wins, it's going to be by knockout.
Brandon, what do you think?
Did he drop off?
I think so. Oh, hold on, I gotta add him back.
He might have.
Sorry about that.
Nah, it's all good. Dwayne, did you hear the question?
Sorry, repeat that.
All right, so pretty much what I asked Adrian was, does he think that once Derek Lewis loses, if he loses, that is, that he has that excuse already in the bag? Like, oh, it was in Houston, there was too much pressure on me, yada yada yada. Same excuse that he had before.
What I think, this is a completely different fight, you know. So if he does lose to Tai Tuivasa, I mean, which I think he will, I think Tai Tuivasa I just think he's got it more in the hands, to be honest. But you know, at the end of the day, I think that I think he'll try and use it as an excuse. But at the end of the day, he also needs to probably get back to the drawing board, maybe get back into the gym and work on some wrestling too, because these guys are going to exploit that.
Okay.
He's not losing. He's not losing a tie at home.
You don't think
You're gonna
so?
have to bet on that.
I don't know, bro.
No,
I don't know, man. Looking at Ty stylistically, bro, I think he beats Derek Lewis. I think he's got better cardio, and I think, call me crazy, but I think
who's got better cardio?
Ty.
No, it's equal. Same
I think Ty's is a little bit better, bro.
No, technique-wise.
I think Ty could go 4 rounds. Derek could only go 3.
Yeah, but that's all he needs. This isn't going to 4 rounds.
1 more round.
Well, honestly, I think this fight ends probably in the first or second, because both those guys can crack.
I think this is ending in the second.
It's like what Adrian said the last time. Whoever lands first, that's who's going to win, pretty much. Because both of these guys, they both can crack really well. So, but I believe Ty is just a better fight overall. In
Ty
every way,
can't,
shape, or form.
Ty can't get ahead of himself in this fight, you know.
I think Derek Lewis has more power, not by much, but I think he has like a slight edge in power. But everything else goes to Ty. What do you think?
If you look at Derek Lewis's losses, it's obviously it's better strikers, like significantly more technical strikers. Ty's not that much more significantly better striking wise. Not like, I mean, there's a reason why they're fighting. We never know until the fight happens. But I think yet again, and this fight's coming like pretty quick too. It's not like we have to wait too long for this. I've said it before. Derek Lewis, in my opinion, is probably the worst skilled ranked UFC fighter. You know, I don't really think high of him, but styles make fights, and you don't. Ty's not going to grapple with him, so he's not going to pummel. The one thing that really tires these heavyweights is when they're in the clinch and they're pummeling. Ty's not going to do that. So
I see it kind of going. I think it almost might go the same way the Augusto Sakai fight went for Ty. You know, I think he will try and kind of back Derek Lewis up and like just smother him when he's against the cage, because that's the best bet. I think Curtis Blades, when he tried to do that, it like just didn't work for him, because he shot in for a takedown rather than use clinch work to press him against it, you know?
Yeah. Another thing is Derek Lewis is significantly stronger than him. He's got the strength advantage. He has the speed advantage. He's definitely way more explosive. I just, I don't think Derek Lewis has ever been slept like one shot. So
no, he never had. I don't believe.
You know,
maybe in the Army days or something, but like in his pro career, I don't think he's ever been one shot. Anyways.
Yeah, and he seems to always roll with the punches. Even like when he's taking some big shots, he kind of knows like how to roll with them. So that's something not a lot of UFC fighters are actually good at. But besides that, bro, listen, I kind of mentioned before, don't be surprised if you see some spinning shit from Derek Lewis, like a flying, some flying roundhouse.
I mean, he's thrown him before. He's, you know what? And for his weight, bro, for his weight and size, he's very, very agile with his kicks, especially. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm
that's going to be a fight. There's a reason why Derek Lewis gets paid what he gets paid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, for sure.
Because he brings the fight every time. So
predictions. I think we might have predicted this the last one. I don't remember. Who do you guys see winning that fight between Lewis and Ty?
I personally, I mean, I don't know if I'm going back on it or not, but I still think it's gonna be a second round TKO, and I'm gonna say Ty. I'm gonna say Ty Tuivasa.
Okay. What about you, Adrian?
You said for Lewis versus
And Ty, yeah, Lewis and Ty.
Ty. I think Derek Lewis finishes him in the first or second round. I just think he's got so much power, man.
Now, okay, so if this shit goes to decision, let's just say it does. It goes to decision. Who do you guys think keeps up the pace enough to get that decision?
I think Ty. I think at the end of the day, this is going to go probably to decision as well. That was my other pick that I was going to say is if this doesn't get a finish, it's going to be just a decision, you know. But yeah, Ty.
This is
wait, real quick. Are we assuming this is going to be a 3-round fight?
Yes, because if I don't know if it's the main event. If it's the main event, obviously it's 5. But
yeah, but he did say in the post-fight interview. Yet again, this is another thing that he keeps going back on. I'm going to keep, bringing this up. He said he's not doing any more 5-round fights. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, he says
3 rounds. He's not going to gas. You know? I'm telling you, it's really tough. If you really think he's going to gas, you really got to study MMA a little bit more because they're not going to grapple. They're not going to fumble. There's going to be no clinching. They're going to be both fighting from the outside.
Yeah. You know what's funny about Derek Lewis, bro, and Adrian is so right about this. I swear to God, he's the biggest capper in the UFC because he said he'll never fight in Houston. He's fighting in Houston. He said after he beat what's that Russian guy's name that he beat, and he fought DC right after. I forget his name. You guys know who I'm talking about? It was in the undercard of Conor and Khabib. I forget his name.
What is that? Did he fight Alexander Volkov?
There you go. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
After he knocked him out, he told Joe Rogan, he said, "Oh, I'm not ready for no damn title shot. Next fight gets a title shot against DC." Was that for a title? Right? That was for the title, right? Against DC?
If it wasn't, it was right before.
It was
the
right. Fight versus DC was a title shot.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like he says all these things. Oh, I'll never fight 5 rounds again. But if the money's thrown in his face, he's gonna take the 5 rounds. He's gonna do the 5 rounds.
I'm almost positive Derek Lewis, deep down, he wants that Francis rematch because he knows, he beat him already, and he doesn't. He's one of the only fighters. Him and Gon are the only 2 fighters that aren't scared of him. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. And yet again, that's the only way he's winning the title. Because I think like these skilled guys, like the Stipe's and the Gon heavyweight, I think they're just bad matchup for Derek Lewis.
Okay.
I do have to say one thing. If this fight goes to decision, there's a really good outcome at the end. And that's we'll probably get 2 shoeys.
All right, quickly. So now the next thing I wanted to touch on was, I don't know if you guys heard about this, probably not, but it's just something that's just kind of like just made me wonder and like kind of made me think. Sugar Sean O'Malley kind of agreed with Dana White not wanting to raise the fighters' minimum pay after Jake Paul put it on blast on Twitter or whatever it was. How do you guys feel about that? About the minimum pay being $12,000 and Dana White not budging?
I would say, did it go up to 12? I knew it was 10 and 10 last time I checked.
No, it was 12,000.
It's 12 and 12, yeah.
Okay, it's 12 and 12 now. Yeah. Okay. Listen, I was watching what Sean said too, and I would like to also kind of still be on the fighter pay subject here, but I think Kevin Holland actually hit it very well about talking about the fighter pay. He was talking about, some of these guys, they get to the UFC and they kind of feel like they already made it, and they fight once, twice, maybe a year, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm a UFC fighter. But Kevin Holland said, like, hey, just because you're here, like, you got to be about this fight game. And he said that at the end of the day, the reason why you ain't making money is because you fighting too less. And maybe some of these guys, like Kevin Holland, like Khamzat Chimaev, like these guys are fighting, they're trying to get all the money. If you ain't want it, they're going to get it. So these guys are fighting multiple times a year. I mean, later down the line, we'll have to see whether or not it's a smart decision or not. But I mean, as far as the money coming in, fighter pay, which is what we're discussing, yeah, I mean, me personally, I would like to fight 5 times a year. Sometimes injury really plays a difference in it, but I mean, try to get your name out there. You need to really try and be out there. And Kevin Holland, he said, don't talk about this fight shit if you ain't about this fight shit.
Right. Facts, 100%, 100%. Do you guys feel? Well, actually, Adrian, let me get your thoughts first before I ask the second question. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I dropped off for 2 seconds.
Did you hear what the question was?
Yeah, I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. No. So pretty much, I just want to get your thoughts on Sean O'Malley backing up Dana White with not raising the minimum pay over 12 and 12.
Oh yeah, I heard. I was listening to Dwayne. So the one thing you have to understand with MMA or with the UFC, they really don't want their fighters talking about money and how many fights they have left on their contract. Those two topics, they really, really, really frown upon. So that's from the fighter's perspective. From my perspective, listen, it's a business at the end of the day. The UFC is not boxing. Like,
always got to take a jab at boxing.
Doesn't have what the UFC does. Like boxing, it's one night only. They set up shop and buy. They don't give a fuck about building the sport. Boxing is the most corrupt sport in the world. You know,
Adrian, can I ask you a question?
It's a business.
Adrian, can I ask you a question? And this is an honest question. Can you go one podcast without throwing a jab at boxing?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Can you go one podcast without throwing a jab at boxing?
No. I mean, it's too easy. So
it is. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, carry on what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So basically, what it boils down to is that, like, these fighters, listen, I think I broke it down in the chat. They can make 24 grand if for showing and winning, and then 50 grand if they get performance of the night. Tell me which boxer in the history of boxing even got close to half of that in their first few big time fights.
The only person that comes up to mind that came close to that money was Floyd when he first started, but that's because Floyd had a big Olympic behind history behind him, and he had hype around him. So his first fight, he made 20,000. That I can remember, at least. That's the highest any boxer's been paid for their first fight, and I think that was it.
And Sugar Sean actually said it best. Sugar said, "These guys are making, let's say you show and win 12 or 24 grand. They're not. What do they bring into the table? You know, like the UFC loses money on these guys. So
do they?
I think people need to the amount of money that it costs just for the medicals.
Yeah,
I know.
What Sean was saying.
Coker?
What Sean was saying too is how, like, some of these guys, like kind of what I was saying too, is like some of these guys get in the UFC, but they only got like 30 followers to their name, you know. So it's like, in a way, the UFC does need to see, you know, a little fanfare here, a little promotional side on your end, you know.
No, for sure. I mean, you can't be like an MMA fighter first fight. You got 3 followers on Instagram and demand all this kind of money. You know what I mean? But I think a guy like Kamzat, do you guys know what he's getting paid right now? Anybody?
I know it ain't NFL rookie wages.
Oh no, it'll never. And you know what's funny? I don't even think the biggest superstar, what's the highest purse ever in the UFC history? You guys know it?
As far as who made what?
Like, let's say Conor is probably the biggest superstar in UFC history
without pay-per-view points.
Yeah, or it was either him or Brock Lesnar. Wait,
so look, the thing is that
no. I'm talking about superstar
UFC,
wise. Like,
listen, that you make money. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's McGregor. McGregor's the number one selling fighter. Okay. Even in boxing, he's outside of Floyd and Manny. McGregor has, I guess, because you know you do have to give him the boxing that the first Mayweather fight. He's definitely up there, you know.
So, but I'm asking,
right now, I've said it for years. Floyd Mayweather is. Yeah.
Go ahead, Adrian. Go ahead,
no,
bro.
You're talking about what's the highest paid? I think it was I thought McGregor, didn't he get like 1.5 on the books?
What?
Without pay-per-view?
That's the highest purse ever in UFC history?
I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
the purses aren't that high.
No
it's,
way.
Again, pay-per-view points. You have to understand that's without pay-per-view though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So,
Let me see.
Either way,
I'm
it's
gonna
always
Google it up
it's
right
a
now.
probably
lot
going
of
to
these
be
fighters make their
McGregor.
money off of pay-per-view.
Let me see. The highest UFC was.
I'm sure a quick Google search.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. Highest UFC paid. Let me see. Highest purse in UFC history. I could have sworn it was Brock Lesnar.
But any way you look at it,
That's actually a pretty good argument for that one too, because
that was a while ago. I'm pretty sure McGregor definitely got paid more because Brock that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
either way,
yeah.
it's moot because with pay-per-view points,
Yeah.
you can make so much more. So it doesn't matter because it just multiplies.
Yeah, so it was
even in boxing, like they said on average.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. Finish your point.
So they apparently McGregor in the Mayweather fight got 130 million, and that the UFC took, I think, 50% of that allegedly.
Whew.
So,
Whew.
Not my boss.
God
so,
damn.
There's that.
Wow. Yeah. Fucking Dana White, huh? Always got to dig his hand in that. That's funny as hell. So from what I was reading, yeah, you're right. It is Conor. It was Brock Lesnar at first. At one point, it was Brock Lesnar, and then it became Conor. So I'm looking. It said $3 million was the highest salary in a fight in the UFC history for Conor McGregor. Now that's something that a lot of journeymen in boxing make easily. So I don't know, man. I don't know how I really feel about this.
Devin Haney's bum ass makes that.
Exactly, and Devin Haney's not even close to a superstar.
The thing is, you can't. It's still, it's a different sport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not. He's too busy. I think he just posted a video on Instagram of him buying like $1 million in jewelry. Dude's not even fought anybody. He's got pillows for hands. Like he puts people to sleep by his boring style, not by the way he fights or hits people.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. So really quickly.
But you have to understand, McGregor makes.
Go ahead, bro. Adrian, I think you're delayed. My sound is delayed, but go ahead.
No, what? I may be delayed. I said, yeah. No, I get you. So you have to understand, with pay-per-view points, though, Usman, Masvidal, they sold 800,000. Kobe and Usman, they sold 600,000. Mayweather constantly hits 1.2, 1.4, million pay-per-view buys. Bro, they make so much more off the pay-per-views than they make salary-wise. Mm-hmm. So, because that's the real way to make money in the UFC.
Gotcha. All right, so really quickly, moving on. So Jorge Masvidal calling out Kobe Covington out for the 800th time. You guys think it finally happens?
Yeah, I think that I would personally like to see them go on the Ultimate Fighter together, and I mean it's just a little. It's just one of those things, man. Like it's gonna be some funny banter back and forth too.
It would be.
Kobe's gonna have all that camera time. He's gonna say a lot of cornballish stuff.
He's gonna come in with Trump. Oh, the president.
He's gonna make that show just interesting, I guess. We'll just have to watch and see.
Bro, Kobe, honestly, as much as I dislike the guy, he's one of the funniest and most entertaining characters in the UFC. I swear he is. But
he's taken it a little bit far at times, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, one guy who I like who's taken it far, I don't really care for him, is Sean Strickland. But I mean, Kobe Masvidal, yeah, let's get that on the Ultimate Fighter. Let's build that up a little bit more, than what it is. I don't know if the casuals are so into that fight yet.
So why is it that this fight hasn't been made? Because this is like Masvidal's like 5th time calling them out. What's going on with these two? Why hasn't this fight ever been made? Because weren't they training partners at one point?
Yeah.
Let me step in. So Yeah, they were roommates. They lived together for years. The main reason why this fight isn't getting made is because it's not going to be competitive. Colby Covington is years like Colby Covington was outboxing Usman for a lot of that second fight. Bro, the fight won't be competitive. Like Colby Covington could take him down at any time he wants and just break his face. He's got the better gas tank. He's got the better striking. He's got the better grappling. He's got the better wrestling. He's got the better everything. He's a way better fighter in every which way. You know, Usman knocked him out. You know, it was one of the best knockouts we've ever seen in the UFC in a title fight. Why would Colby fight Masvidal? There's nothing there for him. You know,
well, he doesn't have many choices.
There's really no incentive because that's
Colby doesn't really have many choices, bro. Like who else is left for him? Because you don't want to see him in there with Khamzat. So who next best guy would be Jorge Masvidal?
I think for Colby, I would like to see him in. I would like to see him in Dustin Poirier and retire him. I would like to see Colby Covington retire Dustin. I want to see him in exciting fights. Like him, for me, him and Masvidal, the fights, it's like I said, it's not going to be competitive at all. And the buildup will be great. I agree with Dwayne 100%. If you put him and Masvidal in the Ultimate Fighter format, it would be, oh man, it would be fun.
That shit would be hilarious. Dwayne, what do you think about that fight? Like if that shit ever goes down, how do you see that happening? I mean, how do you see that going down?
Yeah, I mean, I was just silent with the same answer. You know, honestly, it's I mean, the build-up's going to be fantastic. Sure, the Ultimate Fighter, it's going to bring a lot of the eyes. The casuals are going to probably catch on to more who Colby Covington maybe is because people, you know, they ride stars, I guess. So people might know who Masvidal is, but if they don't, they're going to get a show on the Ultimate Fighter. That's for sure. But yeah, really, I don't really see this being that competitive. Kobe's really just going to outdo him. I think Kobe's really coming to his self. You know, with these fights with back with Usman, that's good for him. You know, and that just goes to show, could he stay in there, you know, with the champ? And he definitely can. So I don't see any decline in Covington at all.
I mean, Usman did stop. You know, he stopped Masvidal and he stopped Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, Masvidal was bad.
I didn't want, just to be clear, Johnny, if Khamzat steamrolls Gilbert Burns, you got to give him the title fight. That's why I don't, like, Colby versus Khamzat doesn't make sense because Khamzat's signed. He's fighting in April versus Gilbert Burns. So, like, for him to wait for that fight doesn't really make much sense because Khamzat's on the title path. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Colby's not. Colby can't get a title shot. So, like, he would have to fight. You know, ideally, I want to see it. He's only really looking for big fights that'll sell. If Jorge Masvidal honestly wants to fight him, like, yet again, what they say in the media isn't always true in the negotiation room. So, if I'm Masvidal, I fight Nate Diaz. I beg for that Nate Diaz fight because that's a fight he could win. He has no chance against Colby. The Leon Edwards fight is really tough for him. That's a bad match
for Masvidal.
Yes,
you think so?
Yes.
Okay,
Dwayne?
Tell me why.
I mean, yeah, I kind of think so too. At the end of the day,
Leon's faster. He's a more technical striker.
He's got more kicks to his arsenal as well.
Yeah, he's not going to knock him out, but he also does have the motivation to get that one back because he did get 2-piece in Minnesota. But you know, the thing is, Leon's striking style would work well against Masvidal. It'll be a boring ass fight, similar to the Nate Diaz fight. And listen, I'm not saying he'll lose, or I'm not saying he'll win. It won't be a good fight to for the fans.
So the bad. Okay, so when you say it won't be a good fight, do you mean it'll be a boring fight, or do you mean that it's just going to be a bad style matchup for Masvidal, or are you saying both?
Both. It'll be a boring fight because the more he pressures, the more he leaves himself open. Masvidal doesn't, he never really evolved as a striker. He was never an elite striker. He was always just good at everything except for wrestling,
Yeah.
And he's tough. The one thing Masvidal has is he's fucking tough, and he's never been knocked down until the last fight. The Usman
That
fight.
was ugly. That was really, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So, Dwayne, let me ask you a question. Do you think Leon Edwards is chinny?
I don't necessarily know what that means, but at the end of the day, I think that he deserves that title shot first over anybody.
So
his win
chinny pretty much what it means is how do I say this? Because it's not like Leon Edwards goes around getting knocked out left and right.
It's a boxing term. It's a boxing
term for people that go down pretty easy, like get knocked down pretty easy. Like, I don't know if you know who Amir Khan is, but he's like definition of chinny. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So chinny pretty much is boxing terms for you get knocked down pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Nate Diaz hasn't done that to nobody in a minute, and he almost knocked Leon out and finished him if he wanted to. I think I think Leon is just good enough to be Usman's next opponent. That's for Usman's.
Don't get Adrian started on that.
To put another win on Usman's record. To be honest, so I don't see Leon beating him at all.
So wait, real quick, Dwayne, if the Leon Edwards Usman fight was going to take place, why isn't it signed now?
I mean, I think, isn't Usman like kind of hurt or something like that with his thumb?
It doesn't matter. They could still agree to sign a fight in like July.
They could, but the MMA in this whole thing, these guys keep jigging back
Dwayne,
and forth.
You want to know the answer, Dwayne?
What's that?
They're waiting to see what Khamzat does to fucking Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
If he eats him, if he fucking steamrolls him, bro, Dana White's gonna be smiling from ear to, and he's a company man.
Yeah.
You heard what Khamzat said yesterday, right?
Dana, give me two guys in one night.
Yeah, give me two. One night, bro. He's Khamzat's a marketing genius. He knows how to promote himself. Leon Edwards, he doesn't even fucking do interviews, bro. Like,
he's one of the guys that when we were talking about fighter pay, he's one of the guys that fights once every 3 years and then complains he doesn't got no more money.
Leon Edwards has the boxing mentality of promoting himself, which is not doing anything. Expecting the title shot or expecting everything and not even promoting yourself. It's like these guys are brain dead. Like they're fucking like they're retarded. Like they can't do a fucking interview. And then when they do an interview, especially Leon, because usually the English people, they're slick talkers. He's not. He ain't it. He ain't a slick talker. Like Darren Till, that Irish kid, the Ian Geary, whatever his name, whatever his name is. Yeah, like they're all these English guys, these UK guys, the guys over there in Europe. They're usually pretty slick talkers.
Little Patty Pimlet.
Leon Edwards, he sounds like he's fucking brain dead.
So plot twist. What if Burns knocks Khamzat the fuck out or just beats him? What do you think that does for Gilbert Burns?
I think he reinserts himself. I think at the end of the day, and I think you just got to take apart Leon probably. But
I'm going to assume that Khamzat is a favorite for that fight. So if he is, because Gilbert Burns is no slouch. I don't understand why everybody's like counting him out. I'm not. I'm certainly not. I think Khamzat beats him, but like I'm willing to put like $30 on him. You know what I mean? If it wins me 500 or some crazy shit like that. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people are
Burns has been trying to fight Rocky for months now. During the whole COVID pandemic, he's been calling it. The one thing Gilbert Burns has that no one in that division does is he will truly fight anyone, anytime. Gilbert Burns is the only fighter in that fucking weight class that when he says he'll fight, he will fucking show up. And Colby, Usman, Leon Edwards, that Chiesa, none of those fucking guys. They're all cap. They're all bitch. Gilbert Burns, he'll fight anyone, anytime, any weight. He don't give a shit, bro. He'll be.
I love those guys. I love those kind of guys, man. Those You know what
Listen,
I mean?
if he beats Khamzat, I hate to break it to you. Yes, it's a big win, but it's not going to get him a title shot again.
Oh my God!
I'm
why?
sorry,
Tell me
bro.
why. Tell me why. He's already ranked number 2 in the division.
No, I know that, but he's got to have to do something that like he's got to have a win over like Kobe.
I was about to say that's the
Leon
next
Edwards.
best thing. Yeah, he's gonna have to fight
Edwards.
Edwards or Kobe.
Not. We don't know what Khamzat is yet. No one knows what he is. He's unknown.
You know how crazy it is that Khamzat, all he has to do is beat Burns to get a title shot. But even if Gilbert Burns steamrolls Khamzat, he still has to do more. You know, that just tells you like
because he already had a shot though. He already had a shot.
Yeah.
No. I know, but I'm just saying it's just so like amazes me. Like, but that's the pedestal that Burns is on. And do you think if Khamzat, if Burns goes ahead and beats Khamzat, do you think that Burns has a shot against Usman? Or even Kobe?
I think like I said, I watched when I first I was watching that fight live. I thought, oh my God, Gilbert Burns just knocked him out. Like when he hit him with that big right hand and dropped him, I thought the fight was over. I was like, bro, oh my God, I can't believe you got caught. Like Gilbert Burns is fucking scary. Brazil finally got another champ. Like finally. And then Usman, ate it, recovered, and then just, what's his name? Unfortunately, Gilbert Burns, I think he gassed because he went for the finish. If they were to run it back, it's going to be a close fight. It's like I said, the first fight was really close. So I don't see why the second would be any different.
Yeah, I'm with him on that too. I think that fight is just. I think Usman takes it again. Don't get me wrong. I think maybe Usman, the first fight with Burns, I think he was just like, oh my God, I'm fighting my friend, and I really don't want to do this. So he might have had those extra nerves. But I think this, if they fought again, I think he might just kind of throw that to the side, like, yeah, I already did this with my friends, so this is now just a regular fight to me.
Yeah. So do you think that Father Time could potentially get to Usman if he does fight Gilbert Burns?
No, I don't think anything could take him off his legacy right now. He is pound for pound the best in the world, and man, is he number 2 to GSP? Should I say?
That's what, you can make an argument either which way. The only thing is GSP does have 2 titles, 2 different weight classes.
Yeah, but I mean,
and Usman, the best thing for Usman would be to move up, and the best thing for him at this point, because he cleaned out the division, would be for him to move up. But he won't fight Izzy because they're both fake Nigerians or whatever it is they are.
Why do you call them fake Nigerians?
Because they're not Nigerian. They weren't raised there, so it doesn't matter.
So what? But they claim them.
So what? Okay, and like
it's the whole shtick.
Usman grew up in fucking Nebraska. He didn't grow up in Nigeria.
Still Nigerian, bro.
Well, okay, so that's you asked the question. Why won't he fight him? Because they're boys. They're both. It's same with Khabib. Khabib wouldn't fight Usman because I think Usman. I think he's Muslim. I mean, I don't know.
What I remember I'm Muslim,
but I don't know.
I remember Stylebender, Israel Adesanya. He was saying something like, he'd rather have 3 Nigerian champions rather than 1. And I appreciate that so much. That shows heart. It shows character. And hell yeah, 3 Nigerian champs. That's keep them.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
At the end of the day, UFC hired the WWE writers too, so they're building off the whole where these guys come from. That's how they're going to market everybody. I mean,
but the difference is so Izzy cleaned out his division and tried to move up, and then he lost. Like, if Izzy wasn't the champ, I guarantee you Usman moves up.
Yeah,
he should.
He's
Is he struggling to make weight
for his weight? Oh, I would say so, to be honest, even though I don't know it.
There's a lot of people that are saying the same thing, that they suspect that he's struggling to make weight.
Oh, yeah, there's several people that kind of hinted at it. He's a really big guy. Big guy for his weight class. He's like one of the biggest guys for his weight class. It's the same. The thing is, when they get older, these guys get older. Like, what motivates them? I don't think a Leon Edwards number 2 is going to motivate fucking Usman.
He might just sign it as an easy fight to him. You know,
It's
that's what I
not, but
think.
none of these fights are easy. But at the same time, it's like
Leon
knows
just deserves it because of his win streak at the end of the day. It's not like he's lost, you know,
don't deserve anything in life, bro, and especially a fucking title shot.
especially in MMA.
Yeah,
It'll
in the
get taken from
UFC,
you.
no, bro.
No.
If Leon's done nothing in the last 2 years, he's done really nothing. So,
He has
does he
fought
deserve
twice.
anything? No, he doesn't deserve shit, bro.
I just think he gets it. I think he should.
Okay.
As I said, just as a ticket in line. That's what I think. Just a ticket in line. Sorry, bud, you got the title opportunity you wanted.
So, Adrian, who do you think deserves it then? If not Leon or Khamzat?
Well, yet again, if Leon deserves it, yes, I think he's the most logical opponent right now in the UFC. Yes, I agree with you. I think if Usman has to fight, within the next month or two, I think it has to be Leon Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't want to see it. Like, it's not like the problem. Like I said, the reason why it's not signed is because one, the UFC really doesn't want to make that fight because they know it's not going to sell, and they pretty much know what how are you going to sell that to the casual fans? What highlight video are you going to show recently of Leon Edwards? Him getting punched in the fucking jaw by Nate Diaz? Like, it's a hard sell. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. If it was an easy sell, they would it would be all over the fucking media. No one gives a fuck about that fight. The only people that care are these annoying MMA, these hardcore MMA fans like Dax, that dude in our group. Like, he thinks he's the ultimate, he knows everything, and like he's the most nope, Leon deserves it. And it's like, for what? Who? Because like some fucking MMA nerd said he deserves it? No, man. It doesn't. The fight game doesn't work that way. It's not that way in boxing, and it's definitely not like that in the UFC.
Mm-hmm. So Dwayne, do you agree with Adrian when he says that Leon doesn't deserve it?
No, I didn't.
I know you don't. I just want to stir some shit up.
Yeah. Oh no, it's good. Come on, a 10-9 fight win streak. I don't know, 10 fight win streak. It's just, as I said, it's just to be in line. It's not that I believe Leon would at all win, but then at the same time, nobody thought Juliana Pena was going to win. So let's get it going.
But
let's figure something out.
Fair, they've already fought before, so I get it.
You know what? Honestly, let me just, if I was matchmaker, listen, if Justin Gaethje gets injured, fuck it. Charles Oliveira versus Usman. Let's fucking do it. He said he'll do it. Charles Oliveira, Dubronx said he'll do it. He said he'll move up and fight.
I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll take the Conor fight way before he moves up.
No, but I'm talking like now. Like, because if you look at the Charles Oliveira, one of the interviews he just recently had, he said he would fight. He could move down to 145 and fight Volk, or move up and fight Usman. He said he's willing to do it.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'd rather have that than watch Leon Edwards 2. I'm sorry.
It's either that. It's either that, or like it's either he moves up or down, or it's a Conor fight for Oliveira.
Yeah, but that's not Conor's in the summer, man. Like, there's so many months between. This isn't boxing, where like
third jab
Plant, bro. You got Plant saying, "Oh, we could do this in the end of the year." Bro, it's fucking January.
Like, I know that was like, what? I didn't get that. I didn't get.
You know, like leave McGregor on the shelf, okay? Mm-hmm. Summer's like when spring hits, when the snow stops and all this fucking blistering cold stops, then we could focus on. Gonna go on right now. Let's the hand that we have. Let's deal it. Let's see what we got.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So moving on. I got another one for y'all. So it's gonna be Junior Dos Santos versus Pulev. You know who Pulev is, right? He knocked out Frank Mir in like
Kubrat
40
Pulev
seconds or some shit like that. Yeah. So he was a boxer. He fought Anthony Joshua. I think he fought Klitschko, all them guys. Mm-hmm. So I think he had a bare knuckle fight with Frank Mir and knocked him out in like, I don't know, under a minute. I think it was. I know it was in the first round. It was
the triad combat in Triller.
Yeah. It was a bare knuckle. Was it bare knuckle or was it like with boxing?
It's like a boxing fight with clinching, more UFC style clinching involved, and
Motion
it's
where
got
it's
like
a
MMA type
triangle.
gloves.
So let me get your thoughts on that. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all know who's gonna win that fight. You know, let's just keep it a stack. MMA fighters really aren't that nice with their hands. As you saw, Frank Mir got brutalized. What? How do you think that fight goes with Junior Dos Santos? Do you think Junior Dos Santos does better than Frank Mir?
Yeah, absolutely. I do personally. I think Frank Mir, he's been just done for years. This guy, he really should have retired. I think he's probably at the point of almost taking serious damage. I don't believe he should have even been in there against Pulev. Yeah, I just don't like Frank Mir fighting anymore. Let his daughter Bella fight. And at Junior Dos Santos, yeah, I mean he's at the very end too. But Junior Dos Santos better of a fight
You
than
think he's got better. He's got better hands than Frank Mir.
Junior Dos Santos, yes,
Okay.
for sure. So
really quickly, I don't remember if you answered it or not. What was it, bare knuckle, or was it like with 8-ounce gloves? Because we got my man El Güero Pesado saying these MMA guys shouldn't be boxing if it's with 8-ounce gloves. So was it with 8-ounce gloves, or was it bare knuckle?
Yeah, it was 8-ounce gloves in a Triller Triad Combat.
Oh, okay. So Junior Dos Santos and Pulev. I mean, I'm sure we all know that Pulev is going to win that, like I said, and I'm sure you think the same thing. So you said Junior Dos Santos does better than Frank Mir. What round do you think he goes in, or do you think he makes it to the end?
I think that fight will go to decision. I don't see Dos Santos putting Pulev away. But it is a different thing. I don't know if you watched the Mike Perry and Seals fight, but that was the same thing. And I mean, it does give us MMA guys a little bit of an advantage, because we're used to at least grabbing in a clinch rather than boxers who, it's more of like a arm hook. So, I mean, it favors a little bit of both, As far as fighting a boxer though with MMA gloves, I ain't never know if that's a good idea.
Usually not. No. Adrian, how do you feel about that situation? Pulev and because a lot of people are worried for Junior Dos Santos, and he said
the problem is Pulev is a legit boxer,
right?
He's very skilled, and Frank Mir found out that
he did. He
you don't play boxing.
Yeah, no. Well, to be fair, I thought the same thing. I remember when Paulie Malignaggi fought what's this guy's name? Jesus Christ! In bare knuckle,
Artem Lobov.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. When he fought him, everybody thought that Paulie Malignaggi was gonna beat him because even though Paulie Malignaggi, I don't know if you know if you know who he is, Dwayne, but at one point he was considered a very, very good prospect. He had his first big world title fight with Miguel Cotto, lost it, and ever since then he was on the decline.
Yeah, but the thing is, the little guys
very skilled enough.
Different. It's different with the small guys and the big heavyweights.
But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get at is like Paulie Malignaggi, he was in some slouch. He had skills.
Yeah.
And then, he ended up losing. I couldn't believe it. And that's when pretty much like the boxing world denounced Paulie Malignaggi because
just so you know, Dos Santos is very chinny. Dos Santos is an excellent boxer for MMA, but that's just a bad fight for him. Like I see him getting brutally knocked out.
Yeah, same here. What do you think he does better than Frank Mir?
Yeah, because he's younger. He's more technical. Frank Mir was never known to be a boxer, and he didn't look in good shape. So,
okay, what round do you think he goes in?
It'll be quick, man. I think first
round?
The first or second round. It won't last long, in my opinion. It'll be a great fight because it's Triad, right?
Yeah,
they're a great promotion. They did really well the first time.
What about Chad Dawson and who's the guy that Chad Dawson is supposed to fight? Give me one quick second, but I don't know if you guys know about it. He's an MMA guy. I'm trying to remember his fucking name, but I can't. He's just beat the shit out of Holyfield. What's the guy's name?
Oh man, I was gonna say I didn't even watch that fight.
Hold on.
I know Chad Dawson. I know who. Oh, Vitor Belfort.
Vitor Belfort. There you go.
Yeah, Vitor's gonna steamroll him.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
TRT for
Chad Dawson,
power,
bro.
Too much speed. Chad Dawson hasn't fucking fought competitive in what 7 years, 8
Yeah,
years.
just about. No, I think he fought in 2019, but it was like
No, I'm saying like
against
competitive,
nobody.
like
No,
actual
yeah.
real.
It's been a while. It's been years.
Yeah, no. Vitor Belfort's on juice. He's on all the PEDs. He looks amazing.
Yeah. Dwayne, do you know who Chad Dawson is, by the way?
No, sorry, I don't.
Okay. So Chad Dawson at one point was considered like, I think he was in the top pound for pound like fighters at the time in like 2012, 2011, early 2010s. So he was a top pound for pound guy, fought Bernard Hopkins, which I'm sure you know who
He
is.
was an elite boxer.
Yeah, he was an
who
elite
never
boxer
did,
at one point.
who never
He
fought
beat Bernard
anyone. The
Hopkins.
second he fought someone good, he got exposed and his career ended. There you go.
So how do you pretty much he summed it up. How do you think Vitor Belfort does against a guy like Chad Dawson, who was at one point at the top of the sport, like top 10 pound for pound?
I think it depends on if Vitor Belfort comes in how he kind of always seems to come in on some of these fights. You know, all juice to the gills.
And then and I don't think they do random drug testing for that promotion, do they? Right?
No.
Anybody can come in juiced. Chad Dawson could come in juiced.
Yeah, but he's washed. There's a difference.
Thing about these lesser promotions, unlike the UFC, is that they are still trying to build stars and all that, and so they're willing to kind of cut those corners still, you know. But I think a lot of it too, like a lot of these guys, like we need to like kind of cut back on slamming them for these like, you know, PEDs or whatever, because honestly the UFC's list is kind of like not so fair either. There's some stuff on there that like you can take. It's like it's not performance enhancing. They tried saying pot was performance enhancing too at one time, and
they
it's
changed. USADA changed everything. It's
yeah.
We could have a whole podcast about PEDs and at least with MMA or for the UFC, at least they use USADA and it's all year round.
And I know like something like Kevin Lee. I mean, like at the end of the day, he got something in trouble for using like Adderall or something like that. And
well, he didn't tell them that he was taking it.
Yeah, right. So that is his
that is
fault,
a performance enhancing drug. If you know anyone who's ever taken it, it's pretty.
I'm in with agreement with the guy you see on the screen at What Up Asado. He says Chad Dawson takes that. I agree. I think Chad Dawson beats him, bro. I think you're sleeping on Chad.
Chad Dawson. He beats him if it's a legit boxing fight. If they have those little gloves, he's getting knocked out.
You think so?
Yeah, we'll
Papa
see.
Dios says, "What's good, Adrian? What's good, Adrian?"
Yo, Pop, that's my number one fan right there.
That's your number one
Papa
fan,
Dios.
So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, man. I appreciate you guys being here. The next one I'm gonna be doing on Wednesday. If you guys want to hop on, I'm actually gonna bring in my MMA coach.
I'm
MMA coach, he's gonna.
I'm gonna head out, guys.
Yeah, peace, bro. My MMA coach, he's gonna be on, and then you know, if you can hop on too as well, bro. I'm gonna have Adrian and Ju hop on as well, man. And then we can go from there, and then just, you know, get knowledge and talk and see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, can't wait to do this again.
Yeah, bro. All right, man. So thank you for joining me. Thank you guys for all the viewers who were watching. Thank you, Papa Dios, Guero Pasado. I think there was like 40, 50 people on here at one point. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate the love. Till next time. See you, bro.
Thank you.